Imagine waking up to see a well-known crypto investor declare, "I just sold all my Bitcoin." Yes, you read that right. I went 100% all in on XRP. The crypto world went bananas. Some cheered, others called him crazy. The investor, known as Kraken XRP, isn't some rookie either. He reportedly got into Bitcoin when it was only about $3,000 and rode it to the moon. Now he's dumping the king of crypto for XRP, the controversial underdog. Why on earth would someone do that? Today, I'm going to take you on a story-driven deep dive into the 4 big reasons a man bet the farm on XRP. We'll unravel each reason one by one. From XRP's unique legal status, to Ripple's massive token reserves, to XRP's speed demon utility, to a jaw-dropping multi-trillion-dollar market opportunity. And stick around, because we'll also talk about the risks of such a bold move. Is this guy a genius or heading for disaster? Maybe both. Quick note, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this video is financial advice, just my personal opinions for entertainment and education. Always do your own research before making investments. And transparency. Some products I mention have affiliate links that help support the channel at no extra cost to you. All affiliate links are listed on my website for full disclosure. Thanks. Also, I'd love to have you join our free Discord community. It's an awesome place where we chat about crypto news, crazy moves like this, and share insights 24/7. The invite link is below, totally free. Come say hi and let me know what you think about iMan's big gamble. Alright, let's dive in. Why would someone go all in on XRP? Let's break down iMan's 4 reasons and see if they hold water. The first reason iMan gave hits a nerve in the crypto world. XRP is the only crypto with legal clarity in the United States. Now that's a bold claim, but here's the backstory. In July 2023, after a brutal legal battle, a United States judge, Judge Annalisa Torres, ruled that XRP, as a digital token, is not a security in itself when sold on exchanges. This was huge. It meant that unlike many other coins walking on regulatory eggshells, XRP got a sort of golden ticket saying, hey, XRP's status is clear, it's not a security, at least in retail sales. Meanwhile, the SEC, the financial watchdog, had been suing Ripple, the company behind XRP, claiming otherwise. Ripple scored a partial victory. The court basically said retail sales of XRP aren't securities, though direct institutional sales were. Nuance matters. Think about it. Bitcoin is often called a commodity and not a security. Even SEC officials have hinted as much. But it's never actually faced a court test. There's always been a tiny cloud of what if hovering over Bitcoin and every other crypto in the United States except XRP. XRP went through the regulatory fire and came out with a legal badge of honor. As iMan put it, XRP is the only crypto with legal clarity in the United States, won the SEC case, not a security. That clarity makes XRP stand out in a world where regulatory uncertainty is the norm. Why does this matter? Big money hates uncertainty. Imagine you're a bank or a huge payment company. You're not touching a crypto if you think the SEC might swoop in and call it illegal. XRP's court ruling is like a green light for institutions. They can explore using it without fearing a lawsuit that says they dealt in unregistered securities. For XRP holders, this legal clarity is like having the only house on the block with a legit title deed, while everyone else is waiting on paperwork. It's a massive de-risking, at least in the US, and it could pave the way for more adoption. Now, let's be clear. This doesn't guarantee price pumps or mean the SEC is completely off XRP's back forever. They could appeal, and regulatory winds can change. But at this moment, XRP has an edge. A-Man looked at that and said, yep, that's reason number one, I'm betting on it. It's as if he's saying XRP has a regulatory moat around it that Bitcoin and Ethereum don't quite have yet. Is he right? Only time will tell, but it's certainly true that no other major crypto has a courtroom victory like XRP's under its belt. Reason number two. A-Man points to Ripple's huge stash of XRP, roughly 40 billion XRP tokens sitting in escrow and reserves, about 40% of the total supply. Now, many folks hate this fact. They say Ripple holding so much XRP is centralization. It's dangerous. They could dump on the market. And yeah, it's true. Ripple controls a big chunk of XRP locked in smart contract escrow that releases portions on a schedule. But I-Man sees this giant pile of XRP as dynamite, in a good way. He's basically flipping the script. Instead of viewing Ripple's holdings as a threat, he sees them as a war chest or fuel for future growth. How so? Ripple, the company, has been partnering with banks, central banks, and payment giants all over the world. They claim over 300 financial institutions are on RippleNet, including big names like Bank of America, Santander, Standard Chartered, and a ton of smaller banks and remittance providers. Ripple's endgame is to have these institutions use XRP as the bridge currency in cross-border transactions. If that day comes, those 40 billion XRP could be like gasoline waiting for a match. Ripple can slowly release XRP to provide liquidity to banks, facilitate huge payment flows, and basically ensure there's enough XRP to grease the wheels of global finance. A-Man's perspective is kind of like saying, yes, Ripple holds a lot of XRP, but that stash means they have the ammo to drive adoption at scale. It's a bit like a startup having a massive treasury ready to invest in growth. If major institutions start demanding XRP for settlements, Ripple can feed that demand from its reserves. It's centralization, yes, but maybe a necessary kind to kickstart a new financial network. Of course, this could go the other way too. If Ripple mismanages it, or if no one wants to use XRP, that escrow could just prolong selling pressure for years. It's a high-stakes balance. But A-Man clearly believes Ripple's aligned with XRP holders here, that they'll use their 40 billion stash not to enrich themselves at everyone's expense, but to explode XRP's utility worldwide. Given Ripple's partnerships and focus on real use cases, it's not pure fantasy. They've worked with central banks on pilots and used XRP for remittances in corridors like Mexico and Asia. So, in I-Man's eyes, Ripple's large ownership isn't a weakness. It's a hidden strength, a bit of centralization that could ironically decentralize and distribute XRP's usage globally. Speaking of being all in on one thing, let me drop a quick pro tip here. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Even A-Man himself said, if he's wrong, XRP goes to zero and he goes bankrupt. Ouch. That's a scenario we all want to avoid. I personally use multiple exchanges and always have backup plans, Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C when trading or investing. For example, I've opened accounts on several reputable exchanges over the years, and I do the KYC verification early. Why? Because when the next bull run hits, exchanges get overloaded and you don't want to be scrambling to open a new account last minute. One exchange I've been testing recently is Kraken, and guess what? They have a sweet limited time promo right now. If you trade at least $100 worth of any crypto, excluding stablecoins, on Kraken, you'll get $25 in XRP as a bonus. Free XRP for trying out an exchange. Not bad. It's a smart way to dip your toes into a new platform ahead of the next bull run, and see if you like their interface and features. If you're curious, you can find my Kraken affiliate link on my website. All my affiliate links are there. Using that link helps support the channel, and you get the promo bonus. Win-win. Just remember, whether it's Kraken or any exchange, never leave large amounts on there longer than necessary. That brings me to an essential point about security. Crypto security PSA. Not your keys, not your coins. I'd be remiss not to mention this. While we talk about grand visions for XRP, make sure you're keeping your crypto safe. Exchanges, even good ones, can be hacked or go down. We've all heard the horror stories. I personally store the majority of my crypto on hardware wallets like a ledger. These devices keep your private keys offline, away from internet bad guys. If you're serious about crypto, a hardware wallet is a must. And always buy it directly from the manufacturer. Don't risk getting a tampered device off eBay or some sketchy site. If you need a recommendation, I have a Ledger affiliate link on my website as well for the official store. Use it if you want to support us. But either way, please secure your assets. I sleep much better knowing I control my keys. You should, too. Alright, commercial break over. Back to the reasons behind this wild XRP bet. Reason number 3 in 𝗗𝗋𝘀𝗰𝗍's playbook. XRP's superior speed and real-world utility leave Bitcoin in the dust. This is where the gloves come off in the classic Bitcoin versus XRP debate. He basically called Bitcoin slow and expensive digital gold, and XRP the fast and cheap digital dollar for cross-border payments. Let's unpack that. Bitcoin, for all its greatness as the first crypto and a store of value, processes a new block only every 10 minutes on average. If the network is congested, those 10 minutes per block can turn into 30, 60 minutes, and don't even mention the fees during peak times. We've seen Bitcoin transaction fees spike to $20, $30, even more during bull runs. Not exactly ideal for buying a sandwich or sending money overseas quickly. It's as if Bitcoin is a horse-drawn carriage, reliable, secure, but slow, whereas XRP is a sports car. The XRP ledger settles transactions in about 3 to 5 seconds, consistently, with fees that are often fractions of a penny. That's like the blink of an eye in crypto terms. 𝗗𝗋 and many XRP fans argue that this speed isn't just theoretical. People are actually using XRP for real transfers, especially international payments. For example, if I want to send money from the United Kingdom to my friend in Mexico, I could use an XRP-based remittance service, and it might get there in seconds. Ripple's on-demand liquidity system uses XRP to shuttle funds across borders without pre-funded bank accounts. It's been used by companies like MoneyGram, back when they partnered with Ripple, and by various remittance firms in Asia and Latin America. There's real utility here. XRP is being used as a bridge currency today to move value quickly, where traditional systems like SWIFT are slow and clunky. Have you ever waited for an international bank wire? Or even a Bitcoin transaction with low fees? It's like watching paint dry while biting your nails. XRP, by contrast, feels instant. 𝗗𝗋𝘀's metaphor of XRP being a digital dollar for global payments captures that vision. In the future, sending XRP could be as common and quick as sending an email, replacing those ancient bank wires. And speed isn't just convenience, it means lower cost. No need to pay high fees or tie up capital while waiting. Businesses and individuals could save billions if cross-border payments become faster and cheaper. Now, Bitcoin proponents will say, Bitcoin is digital gold. It's not meant for everyday transfers. It's a store of value. Sure, and 𝗗𝗋 doesn't disagree. But that's exactly his point. Bitcoin is digital gold, whereas XRP is aiming to be digital cash for the modern era. Both can exist, but if you're talking about utility and payments, XRP has a clear edge by design. Thousands of transactions per second versus Bitcoin's handful per second. It's like comparing a Ferrari to a skateboard in terms of throughput. For 𝗗𝗋, this was reason enough to pivot. He's looking at a future where utility wins, where the crypto that actually gets used for something, like moving money around, will accrue long-term value. And he sees XRP being used in the real world more and more, whereas Bitcoin's use case might remain relatively narrow, mostly held, rarely spent. It's a bet that practicality will beat pure ideology. Whether you agree or not, you have to admit XRP's speed is impressive. If crypto's destiny is to replace or upgrade traditional finance, a coin like XRP that can handle the heavy traffic has a shot to shine. All right, the final reason, and this one's a big one. Reason number 4, the final one, and this one's a big one. XRP could capture a slice of the multi-trillion-dollar cross-border payments market. 𝗗𝗋 basically looked at the enormous volume of international payments in the world and said, even if XRP gets a tiny fraction of that, the upside is astronomical. So, how big is this market? We're talking about all the money zipping around the globe between countries, remittances, business transactions, trading flows, you name it. According to industry estimates, the value of cross-border payments is projected to reach around $250 trillion by the year 2027. Yes, trillion with a T, a mind-boggling number. Even today, it's well over 150 trillion annually and growing fast. The reason you and I might not feel that is because a lot of it is behind-the-scenes wholesale money movement. But it's happening mostly through banks and the SWIFT system. Now, XRP's vision and Ripple's plan is to get in on that action as the bridge asset that makes those transfers efficient. Imagine if banks and payment providers start using XRP to move even a fraction of that $250 trillion. 𝗗𝗋 threw out the idea. What if XRP captured just 1% of that market? 1% of $250 trillion is $2.5 trillion in value flowing through XRP's ecosystem. That kind of volume could imply a dramatically higher demand and price for XRP, far beyond today's levels. Some XRP believers even calculate theoretical prices in the triple or quadruple digits if XRP were to handle a significant chunk of global payments, though take those with a grain of salt. Lots of assumptions involved. For 𝗗𝗋, this potential is the lure. It's the moonshot scenario that XRP could be like buying a tech stock before the internet boom, except the boom here is a new financial plumbing for the world. He knows it's speculative. He openly said, if I'm wrong, XRP goes to zero and I'm bankrupt. He's literally accepting the possibility of total loss. But he also said, if he's right, people won't be laughing for long. In fact, he quipped he'd be laughing in my Lambo, while Bitcoin fans are still waiting for a block confirmation. That's some grade A crypto bravado right there. The key point is, the upside of XRP's success in cross-border payments is massive. The market is huge, and currently the dominant system, SWIFT and correspondent banking, is outdated. If XRP even partially succeeds, the demand for XRP tokens to facilitate liquidity for trillions in transfers could shoot the price up in a way that makes past crypto rallies look small. At least, that's the thesis. It's highly speculative, but not impossible. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. Who would have thought in 2009 that Bitcoin could someday be worth $1 trillion as an asset class? Similarly, who's to say a cryptocurrency can't become a key backbone for global finance by 2030? A-Man is betting that XRP will be that crypto. So, there you have it, the 4 pillars of A-Man's all-in XRP bet. First, regulatory clarity that gives XRP a unique status in the United States, the only big crypto so far blessed by a court ruling. Second, Ripple's huge XRP reserves acting as a springboard for institutional adoption, rather than a centralized burden. Third, XRP's speed and utility in transactions, making Bitcoin look like a slowpoke by comparison. And fourth, the sheer scale of the cross-border payments market that XRP is aiming to capture, where even a tiny slice could mean exponential growth. It's a heck of a narrative. It caught fire online because, let's face it, it's part crazy, part genius sounding. Many in the Bitcoin camp think A-Man has lost his marbles. Who trades the soundest money ever for a token associated with a company? They ask. But others, especially XRP holders, think this guy is simply seeing the writing on the wall early. After all, they laughed at him when he bought Bitcoin at $3,000, and he had the last laugh as a millionaire. Now they're laughing at his XRP move. Will history repeat with another victory? Honestly, you don't have to agree with A-Man to find this fascinating. It's a reminder of the high convictions, or maybe high-stakes crazy risks, some investors take in crypto. And it spotlights XRP's evolving story, from being sued by the SEC a few years ago to now being seen by some as the next big thing. The truth will play out in the coming months and years. Maybe XRP will surge and prove A-Man right, or maybe it will flop and serve as a cautionary tale about maximalism and overconfidence. My take? I think XRP has strong potential, but I wouldn't bet everything on one asset. Diversification is wisdom in investing. That said, I'm definitely rooting for XRP to succeed in those use cases, because if it does, it could genuinely improve the lives of a lot of people. Cheaper remittances, faster business payments, and yes, a little rocket ride for holders would be nice too. Let's wrap this up with a friendly nudge. What do you think? Is A-Man a visionary or a lunatic, or a bit of both? Would you ever go all in on a single crypto like that? And do you think XRP has what it takes to conquer the crypto throne, or at least carve out a kingdom in global finance? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. Before I go, a couple of quick things. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more insightful and sometimes crazy crypto stories. Don't forget to join the free Discord, link in description to keep the conversation going. We have a fantastic community in there, and we're always happy to welcome new folks, whether you're Team XRP, Team Bitcoin, or just Team Crypto. And if you want to level up your crypto knowledge, check out our crypto school at 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗰𝗋school.com. We've got a bunch of courses designed to help you become a smarter investor. Use the code YT50OFF to get 50% off all courses as a special discount for our YouTube family. Investing in education is one of the best investments you can make, especially in an ever-changing space like crypto. Alright, that's a wrap for today's video. Crypto X A-Man's big XRP gamble. Will it pay off? We'll find out soon enough. Until then, stay cheeky and stay safe in the crypto space. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Mandatory disclaimer time. This might shock you, But I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video is financial advice. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile, and you could lose all the money you invest. Always do your own research and consult a qualified professional. Your investments are entirely your responsibility, and you should know that nothing is ever guaranteed when it comes to investing. Neither I, this channel, nor YouTube are liable for any losses. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only.